When it comes to your outreach, 90 to 95% of all the affiliate creators you work with in the platform are going to come through target collaborations. Now, we've been over the rules already, but now we're going to get into how we can send target collaborations. Under the target collaboration tab, you'll see in the top right the ability to invite creators to collaborate. Once clicked here, we can set the invitation name, show the dates that we want this invite to be valid to, and then, very important, have to include an email address in this as well. Now, very rarely will this email address ever even be contacted, but in the event that it is, it's also an opportunity to engage with creators in a different medium. My recommendation here is creating a separate group email, such as creators@yourbranddomain.com, or one specific to TikTok, something like creators.tiktok@brandname.com. That way, in the future, when the numbers get really high and you have hundreds of emails coming in, you can easily segment and sort all of this. The phone number here is optional. I wouldn't recommend adding it unless you happen to have some phone number specifically designated for creators to contact you. Now, the message is the most important component here. On the right side, you're going to see the preview that the creator would see once this potential target collaboration is clicked on. You're limited to 500 characters, but I'd recommend including in here as much information about your brand, details about your commission rate and other incentives, as well as why you think this creator would be a good fit to work with you. Now, you're not going to be able to customize and tailor every message. The scale and the sheer volume we're going to have to do in target collaborations makes it unable to do so. Throughout your target collaboration process, if you're noticing a low percentage of sample requests coming from your target collaborations, this is the first place I would look. Try to adjust, tinker with that message, make sure the message is dialed in and getting you the proper hits. At the bottom here is the preferred content type. 99% of the time, you're going to select shoppable video. If you happen to be running a campaign looking for live stream creators, you would select that option instead. At this point, you're going to want to click Add Products and select anywhere from 1 to 3 products that you want these creators to have the option to work on. This should be reflected based on the products you built out in your hero product strategy. Ideally, you're pushing creators to 1 or 2 specific product SKUs that are the same at the product ID level. Certainly, you could add anywhere from 10 to 15 to 20 products, but just keep in mind, if that comes through, technically speaking, the creator can request a sample for all 10 to 15 to 20 of those items at once. That's usually not something you're going to want to do, so I recommend instead limiting things to 1 to 3. And even then, once they get into the sample request queue that we'll talk about more here shortly, only approving of maybe 1, in very few instances, 2 products at a time. While we've already set our commission rate in the open plan, our target plan can have a different commission rate. Based on the strategy that you did in the financial modeling section, this is where you would input that commission rate. This can be the exact same as what you're offering in the open plan, or again, if you're struggling to get the proper sample requests queued, this can be the same commission rate offered in the open plan. But if you're struggling to get folks in your sample request queue, you've got a low hit rate, you might want to up the commission here. It's important to note that on this commission number, you can at any point bring this commission rate down. Say you're struggling to get sample requests, so you put in a commission rate of 40%, and then video goes viral, and it's frankly just an unsustainable number for you to meet as this video continues to get more and more sales. You can bring that down, just make sure you communicate with the creator in advance of that and find somewhat of an amicable solution. What you don't want to do is set a commission rate of, say, 50% here, and then the second they get the product, pull a bait and switch. That will get you flagged by all of the creators on the platform and is a quick way to get your TikTok shop in the garbage. For the third step here, we'll set up free samples. Make sure the offer free samples toggle is always turned on. At this point, you can select one of 2 options. You can auto-approve sample requests or manually approve them. My recommendation is to always select manual. Yes, it will create more work later, but I'll explain why. If you have auto-approve on, what that means is any creator you send this target collaboration to will automatically get accepted if they request a sample. Now, that's not the biggest deal in the world. However, with the outreach numbers we're going to be doing here, in a second, we'll actually go over that find creators section. It's going to be such a high volume that you're not going to be able to take the time to look at every individual creator before you send them an invite. The way to think about it is this: if you send 100 target collaborations, you will likely then get anywhere from 10 to 20 sample requests. Out of those 10 to 20 sample requests, you'll approve of anywhere from 5 to 10 of those. So rather than take the time to pre-vet 100 folks, it's a lot easier to instead do more broad targeting in terms of outreach, then manually review each of these creators when they get into the sample request queue. Finally, we get to the most important step, which is choosing creators to do outreach to. Again, there's two options here. You can add recommended creators by TikTok. You can also add pre-selected creators. Recommended creators are auto-generated, and once your TikTok shop is rolling very smoothly, these can often be great options as the algorithm is doing a great job of reading your TikTok shop and your products. But even for our brands at scale, we always go with the pre-selected creators option. Now, when you select this the first time, there likely won't be any creators here. We'll cover that in our next section, Find Creators. Whatever option you go with, you're going to make sure you cap this target collaboration with 50 creators. So whether you're doing recommended creators or folks you've pre-targeted, make sure you go through, select up to 50, and don't spend too much time vetting because, again, it's a very low rate of these creators that are actually going to request a sample. Give it a rough initial kind of glance, select your 50, and move on.